This general training is for OpenY customers in Drupal 8. Other trainings can be found on our OneEach Technologies YouTube channel or on the OneEach support site at support.oneeach.com. This training, as I mentioned, is a general training. It is available for all of our OpenY customers, regardless of your theme. This training will cover how to create a basic or a landing page within your site. Now, of course, you'll want to get logged into your site. Don't forget that if you are editing your OpenY site, we do suggest that you are using either Firefox, Google Chrome, or if you are a Mac user, you can also use Safari. Please do not edit your website in Internet Explorer. You might not be able to access all of the features. Okay, so once you have logged into your site, if you want to create a kind of a new basic page, we call those landing pages in the world of OpenY, you can always go to Content, Add Content, and Landing Page. You will be able to see a listing of all the content types here. Landing page is going to be the one we're going to use today. So once I click on that landing page option in that drop down, it's going to take me to kind of an editing view. This is going to be a view you will see a lot. And so get used to kind of the layout of this. You will always see the ability for a title, layout, and then different areas. Of course, every single page will have a header, content, and bottom area, depending upon your layout. If you're a 1-column or 2-column page, you might also have a sidebar area. Over on the right side of the page, really quickly, I just want you to take a look at some of these options. It will always let you know who the author is, if your page has been saved. You have the ability as you go through to create revisions. So if you are coming back and editing the page, you can save in your revision to the page. And then basically, if you ever need to go back and see any changes that you are making or even revert your page back to an older version of it, it is possible to do. Underneath your revision log options, you should see menu settings. This is going to give you the ability to provide a menu link in your main menu. So as you are creating pages, you can come in here and provide a menu link. So you can link this page in the menu as you're creating it. It's really kind of a nice time save feature. It gives you the ability to put in your menu link title as well as a description or an advisory title. This is a little banner that will show when you hover over that link. Additionally, you can choose where in the main menu this item should sit. And of course, as we come on down, you should also see the option for meta tags. I'm not going to get into that. If you, do know about meta tags and you enjoy them, you can take a look. There are some options there for you. I'm going to kind of skip some of these options, and we're going to go straight to scheduling. Every single page on your site has the ability to be scheduled. So you can always have this page publish itself on a specific date and time, or even take itself down or unpublish itself on a specific date and time. All you have to do is just click in an area. You can click on that calendar and make sure that you are putting in a specific date, time, minute, and then of course this last one is either AM or PM. Underneath, as you come on down, URL path settings. Every single one of your pages should try to kind of generate an automatic URL alias. So again, if you are creating a brand new page called About Us, that URL alias is usually About -us. You have the ability to say, nope, I want this URL alias to be very specific, maybe for marketing or social media purposes. You can always control the URL alias of each page, but just be aware that usually the kind of default is to automatically generate that from the page title itself. Underneath that path settings, you always have the option for authoring information. This will let you know when the page was authored, who authored it. You can even come in here and change it. So if I'm no longer with your organization, or maybe you need to just update something, you can definitely do that if you ever need to. So again, check out the options over here on the right side of your editing view. Some of these options may not be very useful for you, but some of them might be great, especially those schedulings or those menu settings options. Okay, so we're going to come back over here to the title, and we're just going to say, New page. Now, again, in this layout, I have the ability to choose, do I want this page to be a one column full width page? That means that the content does stretch from end to end of the screen. So it's that full width of the screen. Do I want this column or this to be just a one column page, which gives you a little bit of padding between on either the right or the left side of the page. So that way that column is not full width. Do I want this column to be a two column page? Now, again, if you are using a two column page, a sidebar area will pop up for you. It is an optional area for you to use. You do not have to use it. But if you are using a two column page and you are not going to kind of utilize that sidebar area, you might want to come back in and change it to a one column page. So that way you have a little bit more area to work with in that content area. So that way you're not leaving just a little extra space on the right side of the page for a sidebar that you're not going to use. So I'm going to create a one column page today, and we are going to use the header, the content area, and if we wanted to, we can also add content to the bottom area. Now, please be aware that the header area and the bottom area, any paragraph type that you put in either the header area or the bottom area, that content will stretch full width on the page. Now, there's no other delineation between header, content, and bottom area. Other than the header area and the bottom area, the content will stretch full width on the page. The content area, because I'm doing a one column page, not a one column full width page, the content area will have a little bit of padding to the right and to the left side of the content. So that is not going to stretch full width of the page. So just be aware, and you'll get to see some of this as we come on in. So in this header area, I have the ability to choose from a multitude of paragraph types. Now, each one of these paragraph types is going to have a specific styling and formatting and layout to this item. Some of these paragraph types might feed other content types like blog listings or news posts, that kind of stuff. Now I want to, let's go ahead and add in a banner to the top. Now this is just going to be an easy small banner. And we're just going to call this new page. And I'm just going to put in a color. So it's light blue. If I wanted to put in a little description, I could. I do not need to put in an image if I wanted to. I do have the ability, again, with your banners, depending upon the banner you're using, you might have a banner that's just a full image at the top. It might be a banner that is half image and kind of half background, colored background that has a description and a title and maybe a link. Each one of those banner paragraph types does have a different formatting and styling. So be aware, play around with them, see which ones you like the best. So at the very top, again, I just put in kind of a small banner just to put in a new page headline with a light blue color behind it. In the content area, this is where I can choose some content. If I wanted to put in just some basic, easy content on the page, I might choose a simple content area. And as I come in, I can just put in some content. Now this is some simple content. Oh, this is horrible. I'm sorry. Okay, so just put in a little bit of content. Of course, you always have the ability to use the formatting toolbar here. So if you wanted to put in an image or link something here, you can definitely do that. You also have the ability to make sure that any content is centered or change the alignment, make sure things are bold, or even use a specific heading or color of heading as well. Now, underneath this, so I just have a small little area for simple content. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in another paragraph type or another element to my page. So let's go ahead and add in, let's go with a featured blog post. This gives me the ability to actually put a blog feed on my page, but I get to pick the blog that actually show in there. So I can say featured blogs. And you can, if you want, you can just start typing in a letter and it'll pull up options depending upon a letter. I type in L and it brings me all of these up. Now, these are all different blog posts that are in here. So let's go ahead and add in a second item. I want just a couple of blog items in this feed. So let's go ahead and see what M. Ooh, we're gonna go with food today. And if I want a third one, I could do a third one. I could do a fourth one. I can do a fifth one. I can keep adding them however. There we go. So again, I can always save what I have, come back, and if I need to add additional items to this feed, I can. I can always move them up and down as well. If you want to remove one, you can either take out the title, or if you want to replace it, you can just start typing in a different title and it'll pull that in there. Of course, I can come back in here and add in additional items in here if I need to. So I could put in a feed of events. I could, have buttons within a page if I needed to. There's, like I said, a lot of different options. But let's go ahead and put in a web form on the page. If I needed to be able to have like a little contact us web form, then I could create that contact us web form, and then I could put this on any page. I also have the ability to choose whether this is open, whether it's closed, or whether it should be scheduled to open and close on a specific date. So I can put a web form in the middle of my page to make sure that it's only open from a specific date range if necessary. Okay, so we've put in 3 different paragraph types in the content area. We have a simple content, a featured blog post, and then a web form. And then down here in the bottom area, let's go ahead and add in a gallery. A gallery is going to be like a scrolling image gallery that you can pick images from your media browser that's already in here. So we're just going to call this gallery. If I wanted to put in a little description, I could. If you even wanted to put in a link, you can. There's a little button option for you here. You don't have to use it, of course. And then as we come on down here, it's going to ask me to select images from my media browser. And then from here, I have the ability to either upload files from my computer if I wanted to, or I can click this all images option over here, and I can pull from existing items that are already in my media browser or that I've already uploaded to this site. So if I think that these 3 images should be, those 3 images should be in my gallery, I can just come on down here, click select images, and then it's going to add them to my gallery. Now, I can always come back and add additional images to my gallery. I always have the ability to drag and drop the images in the order that I want them to appear in the gallery as well. So if I think that one image should be the first image instead of the other ones, I can kind of always drag them in the order that I think that they should appear. Now, of course, you can remove any images, edit any images, or even reselect or kind of add additional images to any of these gallery areas. Now, again, this gallery is going to be in the bottom area of this page, which means it's going to appear full width at the bottom of the page. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save the page. You can always preview that page before you save any work, but I'm going to go ahead and save. Once you have saved your page, it should automatically put you on your page view, so that way you can take a look at any of the work that you have just put in. You'll be able to see if everything lays out nicely. Do you need to maybe pick or choose a different paragraph type for that page content, so that way it displays a little bit differently, or maybe you just want it to look a little bit nicer or neater on the page. So again, new page. This is my small banner that we added at the top of the page. It is in the header area, so it stretches full width. Underneath, we have a simple area for our content. It's just going to show right in the middle. You'll see that there is a little padding over on the right and left side of the page. Underneath that, we have those featured blogs. Those are the 3 blogs that I added. I can, of course, just do a listing of blogs, and it'll show the most recently posted blogs, but of course, I can always pick and choose which blogs I want. Additionally, underneath, we have a web form, so I can fill out this web form, send a message right here, try and get, contact somebody as needed. And then down here, at the very bottom, in the bottom area, again, this is a full width area, we have the gallery. Now, I just put in a title on the gallery if I had a little descriptor, or if I wanted to put in a button, I can definitely do that. Each gallery item can be scrolled through. And of course, if you want to be able to click on a button and take you to more information, that can be done. You just have to go back into the editing view of your page and open up each one of those areas and then edit that paragraph type or that page element that appears within that area. Of course, don't forget that over here on the right side of the page, you will always have the ability to make sure that this shows in the main menu somewhere if you need to. You can also make sure that this item is scheduled to publish or unpublish on a specific date and time. You can double check the path of this page. Again, this was a brand new page. The title is new page, so it pulls new dash page. If I did not like that, I could change that. Of course, anytime I make a new change or any sort of adjustments to the page, I can always choose to put in a little revision log message, and when I save, it'll create a new revision. So that way you can see any new changes, adjustments, additions, subtractions, anything to these pages. Now, of course, if you have any questions about either creating new content or editing any existing content that you have on your site, please feel free to submit a support conversation at support.oneeach.com. Our team is always available 24/7 for any help and assistance.